Good morning, guys. It's another relatively early morning, but I have to say, autumn comes early in England, and although it's only really the beginning of August, it's starting to get a little bit cooler and damper. So I don't know how long I'll be able to come out and make early morning vlogs, which makes this one all the more important. Now, why am I making another vlog? Well, I was watching some flying ants the other day. Now, you might think that's a bit weird, but I'm not even sure. I don't know that much about ants. I've got to be honest. I'm no expert on ants, so I don't know if all ants have flying ants. But anyway, the ants around here, about once a year, there's your ordinary little creepy crawly ants, and then suddenly there's all these flying ants. Same species, carrying the same genes, except one lot can fly, the others can't. And you've got all these little flying ants, and they're coming out, and they're very hesitant to leave the nest, it has to be said. And you see all these little tiny baby ants all scurrying along and kind of dragging on and giving them a push, and you know, get on, get out there, and they'll come out, and then they'll wander back in again, and then eventually they'll take off. Although I don't know when they take off, because it's very rare you actually see one take off. You kind of see them fluttering off into the sky. But I'm like wondering, how on earth do they know how to fly? The first time they've left the nest, and they sort of stumble about, and then they fly. And I just found it quite amazing that these little ants, in their little world, they've got two totally different, almost like two species sharing a genome, because you've got the ones that fly and the ones that are never ever going to fly, or at least not unless you flick one off your hand or something. And I just thought that was quite an interesting thing. Just the whole community thing. I mean, surely the level of community required to put all that effort into raising these little flying ants by these even littler ants that don't fly, and they seem to be very successful at it because there's lots of them. And when you see ants working together, sometimes you'll see them with this huge bit of food and all these little tiny ants all gathered round it, pulling it along, and you realise that working together is always going to achieve more than working alone or working against each other. I think that's what I'm most impressed with by the ants, is the way they have an objective and they all work together as a little community. And you've got to think, their little tiny brains, how do they even work out how to... It's like they must have some telepathy between them. I don't know if it's something with scent, or they make little sounds, or what, but they work as like one entity together and achieve all these enormous things. And I sometimes get the feeling that we should be working together but aren't, that there's some block, some divide, and it's every man for himself. And that when you think of the size of our brains compared to an ant's brain, what could we achieve if we all work together. I know that's nothing new for me to be babbling on about that kind of thing, but ants. What do you think about ants, guys? You don't want to get them in your pants. Oh my god, that sounded cheesy. Anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully I'll get a few more early morning vlogs in before the autumn sets in for real. But that's it for now. So I'll see you later, guys. Bye. Coffee. I have coffee in the morning. Bye. Oh, right, got a wasp. Come on, wasp, give me a break.
We're gonna party till the police come. Party!